to attribute it to what racists say about black people until it became true, and racists do make those jokes. See how they're pushing and promoting a culture of obsessing over all of this. They say the casino restaurant offers menus geared towards holidays, including Chinese meals at the Chinese New Year and Mexican food on Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, and what's happened at colleges all over the country? They said on Cinco de Mayo, you are banned from having Mexican-style parties if you're not a Mexican, purely Hispanic or Mexican fraternity. And everybody's like, but we want to drink tequila and wear sombreros and get drunk and eat Mexican food. Well, sorry, that's hurtful. You can't do it. I mean, so what if it hurts somebody's mentally ill feelings that I want to put on a sombrero and get drunk? I mean, I did stuff like that when I was 20 years old. Just like, you know, I went to toga parties. Wasn't making fun of Greeks either. They told people, don't be a geisha girl, don't be a cowboy or a Native American, and that will hurt someone's feelings. Well, then, so what if a mentally ill person gets their feelings hurt? I told the story here in Austin, and it's happened more since then. People try to have yoga days, and at Halloween have folks dress up like people from India, and it gets shut down by the left at super liberal facilities because they say that would be hurtful. See, you're not allowed to have any culture. And I never finished the point about the guns. You can play with a Nerf gun in your backyard and be kicked out of school. But then if you go play video games of murdering people, that's okay. See, the system's allowed to put out whatever it wants. Quentin Tarantino can put out movies with the N-word every other sentence. That's okay because he's part of the establishment. But if you, an unknown actor or director, put something out, you'll be crucified. See, it's about the system setting the agenda and saying what's acceptable. Now, I want to get into the State of the Union, the carbon taxes, the so-called free education, all the bull. What did you think the biggest doozy of the whole situation was? And while callers are talking, I'm going to play... guys, my computer shut down here with the callers on it. Can somebody nix that out of there so I can get that? Thank you. So I can see who the callers are. Thank you. We're going to take some of your phone calls till about 40 after, and then David Knight's going to pop in, and then we'll continue with your phone calls. And then Congressman Jones pops in for about 20 minutes, and then we'll continue with phone calls and news I haven't gotten to yet. Steve in New Jersey, your take on the State of the Union. I heard about a lot of free stuff, kind of like Obamacare was going to be free, that I'm going to be getting. What do you think?
Well, thanks for having me on, Alex. I've been listening for a few years now. I've never called in before, so this is pretty exciting for me. I got a solution for the problem with the lack of black nominees for the Academy Awards. I say we nominate the president because that whole thing last night was just a complete act.
That's an article right there. Tweet that. Tweet that. Infowars.com nominates Barack Obama for Best Actor, and that should satisfy Al Sharpton because it was a complete facade last night. That's right. The people nominate Obama as Best Black Actor. Just have an award for that for BS. That's a great point.
Absolutely. I mean, I've gone to college for political science and economics, and I was watching the whole thing, and it was absolutely disgusting. He says he's always going to, crack down on the fat cats in Wall Street and protect the middle class. Where has he been for the last 6 years? Why hasn't he done these things already? If that's really what he was trying to do.
Well, again, he's the front man, but the stated goal of the social engineers and the 0.1% at Goldman Sachs is to destroy the middle class so they can then give us enough to live on and control our lives and social engineer us. That's the name of the game, is making us dependent, period. And I wish I would have brought that up to Ayers yesterday, that dependency creates a nightmare situation. But notice Bill Ayers couldn't defend Mao and people. That's better than a lot of commies you talk to. Anything else, Steve?
Of course. One thing I want to go over also, I just got done working for a company, I can't say who, but it's a private company that works closely with the media for the elections. And this past election, I'm sure you heard how CNN fired about 10% of their staff in October right before the election.
Yes.
Some of the staff they fired were actually some of their top election people. They either fired or, basically made them take severance, or force them into early retirement, some of their top election people right before the midterms. And I know you talk about this all the time. I think that really speaks to how desperate the mainstream media is getting, because they fired a bunch of their top election people.
Hold on, I want to hear why you think they did that as an insider. Stay with us.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness: the phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it, and that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day: unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Millions of people are going to get sick this winter from colds, flus, and other illnesses. Make sure you're not one of them. Protect yourself with Supernatural Silver, a revolutionary new product. Recent advances in silver technology have resulted in a silver solution that can be used daily to help prevent bacteria, viruses, and fungus. Supernatural Silver is safe enough to use daily, while powerful enough to help your own immune system destroy the causes of many serious diseases. Supernatural Silver has the ability to terminate entire colonies of harmful bacteria at several hundred times the effectiveness of colloidal or ionic silver. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 30% off. Give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before.
America must also face the rapidly growing threat from cyber attacks. Now, We know hackers steal people's identities and infiltrate private emails. We know foreign countries and companies swipe our corporate secrets. Now our enemies are also seeking the ability to sabotage our power grid, our financial institutions, our air traffic control systems. We cannot look back years from now and wonder why we did nothing in the face of real threats to our security and our economy. And that's why earlier today, I signed a new executive order that will strengthen our cyber defenses by increasing information sharing and developing standards to protect our national security, our jobs, and our privacy. But now Congress must act as well by passing legislation to give our government a greater capacity to secure our networks and deter attacks. This is something we should be able to get done on a bipartisan basis. Our diplomacy is at work with respect to Iran, where for the first time in a decade we've halted the progress of its nuclear program and reduced its stockpile of nuclear material. Between now and this spring, we have a chance to negotiate a comprehensive agreement that prevents a nuclear-armed Iran, secures America and our allies, including Israel, while avoiding yet another Middle East conflict. There are no guarantees that negotiations will succeed, and I keep all options on the table to prevent a nuclear Iran. But new sanctions passed by this Congress at this moment in time will all but guarantee that diplomacy fails, alienating America from its allies, making it harder to maintain sanctions, and ensuring that Iran starts up its nuclear program again.
Folks, I really apologize. You said to listen to 2 clips of Obama. My earpiece broke right as I was going on air, so we had to scramble around the last couple minutes. Let's go back to Steve, then we'll go to John, Tim, Woody, Emmy, and others getting your response to the State of the Union. We did just tweet that out, Steve, your point that Obama deserves Best Actor award at the Oscars. That should make Al Sharpton happy. But let's go ahead and have you finish up your take. I don't know the name of it because they just changed the name. Is it Voter News Services now? VNS that supposedly decides the elections. What do you think was behind those massive firings right before the midterm elections in October of last year?
Well, what I would say about that is, and of course, as you saw after the election, turnout was at the lowest it's been in 60 years or so. It's a post World War II all-time low. So I think it really speaks to a lack of legitimacy within the political system, as well as in the media, because people are just tuning out. They just don't want to hear the lies anymore. They don't want to pay for all the lies anymore. And one thing I will also say about that, so we're at sort of a new low point. One of the recent high points that there was in 2008 during the Clinton Obama rivalry. That's when the ratings for CNN were at an all-time high, and they were making millions off people watching that because there's considerable interest in that drawn-out political battle. But people are really just giving up on both parties. They're giving up on the system. They're giving up on the media, and they're just tuning out en masse. And I think that helps explain why CNN, as well as the other news networks, the traditional media, are all tanking.
Where do you think, Steve, this is going to go in the short term, midterm, and long term? It's obviously untenable for the establishment, so I just see them stealing everything they can, knowing that their reign of terror is coming to an end. But historically, sometimes things get worse, not better in something like this.
Yeah, I would agree. I think things are certainly going to get worse in the short term. Eventually, they will improve as people continue to wake up and continue to, reject sort of the society that the social engineers are essentially creating. But I'm starting to think that either we're gonna, there's gonna be a new third party, or the Republicans are gonna be taken over by people like Rand Paul and Ted Cruz. More libertarians in the establishment is sort of gonna either die out or change. There's gonna be some sort of political party shift, and this happens. You can look at it historically.
Sure, major political realignments. Great caller, Steve. Thanks for the call. John and others, your calls are straight ahead. Then David Knight's going to give us his expert take. He was there covering it live for 3 hours last night. Did a fabulous job for InfoWars Nightly News. That's coming up. But this is all about not letting social engineers run our lives. And that begins by admitting they're there and then discovering their agenda.